Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective, and today we're going to talk about Afghanistan. Ladies and gentlemen, I have not been on here because I've been trying to figure out how to approach this thing because, boy, it has me boiling. I just can't believe the incompetence that is being expressed. The deep state, the cabal, the whoever the hell they are, needed a good distraction from the counting going on in Arizona. Well, they got one. They pissed off an awful lot of people. Now, I've been hearing numbers between 10,000 and 40,000 American citizens that are trapped in Afghanistan. And the Biden administration flat out told them, we can't guarantee your security. You're on your own. You do the best you can. We'll look out for you, okay? These people are insane. The Taliban pretty much walked in and took over. To me, it doesn't look like there was any resistance whatsoever. Now, I want to remind you that one certain little organization called ISIL, as the number 44 would call it, ISIS, they were created by our, clowns in America. And they were fully supported, trained, funded, and supplied by the 44th administration or regime. So what I'm concerned with here, this just went through my head, and again, I spit my opinion based on what I see personally. What I'm concerned about is, to me, the fact that the Taliban just sort of walked in without any resistance. The Afghan military just backed down and walked away from everything. I just almost feel like this might have been a setup. We left billions of dollars worth of equipment with the Afghan soldiers, and they just wiped their hands and walked away from it. Now, the equipment that we left could have easily held off a group of people that were showing up with small arms and improvised explosives and RPGs. I mean, you can blow them up by the crowd with some of the stuff that we left there. Now, the problem is, when we left it there and it was abandoned, it was picked up by the Taliban. And then the Taliban was seen in a video hand-delivering stuff to Iran. Now, what if this was the largest secretive arms deal ever done in this country, and it was coordinated ahead of time so that they can supply our next war campaign with the equipment that they need to confront us, i.e. Iran? Now, every time there's any kind of war, the bankers supply both sides. We can go to World War II, we can talk about Prescott Bush, we can talk about the Rockefellers and Rothschilds. They were all buddy-buddy, but they were supporting and funding and supplying the alternate sides of the World War II campaign. So anyway, the bankers take care of both sides. They pay for everything, and they win in the end because they get their money from contracts. Halliburton gets their money from rebuilding the country, and the clowns in America get their money from running the drugs out of countries. So everybody makes out great, except for the people that die on the ground for a banker's war that has no end in sight, nor are you allowed to win, because they set up the rules of engagement so that a soldier that goes in to fight has somebody who points a weapon directly into their face, and the rules are that you cannot fire unless fired upon. So they design things so that success is impossible. You will not win. You will simply sustain the money market system that was put into place. And everything is optics. They yank on the emotions, We lost 10 more soldiers today, and they run that through the news over and over and over again, and people go, yeah, well, we need to kill more of them. Well, the problem is that the banks are supplying the others also. Everybody's supplying everybody. So when they're doing this, they're just trying to keep the support by the sleeping public for the money-making machine that they create in war. And people fall right in line. They use their emotions, and they support wholeheartedly a objective that is not designed to have an outcome. And it's frustrating as hell. I mean, I know that you guys can sense how pissed I am about this, but that's why I've had to take a couple of days, because if I'd have gotten on here 2 days ago when people were falling to their deaths off the side of C7s and trying to escape this country. Now, one thing about that, if these people supported Americans over there, then they're as good as dead. And to abandon them would be absolutely disgusting. But the other thing I want to point out is that they showed an airplane that was completely full, not the C7, this was apparently a commercial flight that they were showing, that was completely full of military-aged men that were running like hell. Well, I got news for them. You want to save your country, you stand your ass up and you do it. In this country, we ain't running. For one thing, ain't nowhere to run. Where the hell are we gonna go? When things hit the fan, is our president going to jump in a plane and escape the country to go somewhere else? I'd like to see where the hell that's going to be. But people here, we won't run. We're not going to fill a plane full of military-aged men and escape the country. We're going to stand up and we're going to fight for this crap. Because as far as they're concerned, they want to give it away anyway. And we're not going to let it happen. I mean, it's not going to be today, tomorrow, or whenever. But they're pushing. And they want their civil war. They want it until they get it. And then I don't think it's going to be just as pretty as they think it's going to be. I really think they're going to have a serious issue. But they're too stupid to realize that we outnumber the cabal at least 8-1. But because they own the media and all of the outlets that tell people numbers, they can inflate and deflate numbers according to how they feel. And everybody goes, yeah, I guess that's right, yeah. No, we outnumber them 8-1 minimum. So, let them play their games, play stupid games, get stupid prizes, that kind of thing. But this fiasco in Afghanistan, this is going to be one for the record books. Dumb shit in office there says, oh, there will not one chance that there will be helicopters taking people off of roofs like they did in Vietnam. That's just not going to happen. And then sure as shit, 2 pictures side by side. One of people escaping off the roof in Vietnam and the other one with a Chinook coming in to take people off the roof in Afghanistan. So everything they say is a lie. Everything they promise, they renege. It's a shit show. And I think it's time for all of the lefties who constantly berate us for trying to tell you to save your damn freedom. I think they're going to finally get a slap of reality. And some of them, maybe not. They're just too stupid, too far gone. God help you. But this has got to be a wake-up call. They're trying to take our planet away from humanity. And they're trying to round us up and have us walk ourselves into the slaughterhouse. Hence the prick. So they've got a lot of plans for us. But most of them don't have us in it. They have the plans, but they plan on doing it alone with as few of us as possible. I mean, you can inject yourself. That's fine. That helps them out. And then when people start dropping like flies, they can say, oh, it's another variant, because it'll be a time-delayed system. So people can do that, or, you know, you can eat the food, because they poison just about everything that we consume. The bottom line is, we all gonna die. And the question is how? Are we going to let them take us out by voluntarily walking into our own slaughterhouse? Or are they going to take us out while we're taking them out? That's what I'm asking, you know? Because at some point that choice has to be made. And as for me, I'm on my feet. This is where I'll be. Not going to go like a lamb. I'm going to go like a lion. And they're already talking about camps. They're already talking about labeling us as terrorists. You know, once you vilify your enemy that you want to take out, then it becomes easier to take them out, because then there's justification. Because the media will pick it up and say, oh yeah, well that was one of those terrorists, so, you know, good riddance, I'm glad he's gone. So you vilify, and then you eliminate. Well, the problem is, the more they tell somebody they're a terrorist, it's almost like self-fulfilling prophecy. At what point do you realize your life is in danger and that they will come and kill you, and that you decide it's time to defend your life from a threat like that? That's where we are right now. The waiting game begins. But they're going to try to do it quietly, taking out one or two at a time. You know, somebody like me, big mouth, getting out here on the tubes and talking about their plans. And you know, they keep my channel so suppressed that probably the same 150 or 200 people that see my videos are the same ones that see it every time. They don't show anybody else. They're trying to keep me from getting my big mouth out there too far. But they don't want people like me. They don't want people that aren't intimidated and can't be scared into submission. They want people who will submit. They can throw a few dollars at them, tell them, well, this is what I want you to start doing with your channel. And those people go, oh, well, okay. No, not this guy. I'm used to being broke. I can live this way. It's just, you learn how to do it. So I don't need money. They're not going to bribe me into telling you stories. So they hate people like me. You know, any day they could show up at my house, bang on my door, you're coming with us, and I just have to tell them, I don't think so. And then it goes from there, and we'll just have to see what happens at that point. But they will not intimidate me. I won't shut up. They lose. With this one, they lose. And there are a lot of us out there, not just me. So, anyway, this whole thing needs to be looked at. People need to figure out how we go forward, what we gonna do. Because it's obvious they're delaying the count results from Arizona for whatever reason. The longer they delay this crap, the more the deep state gets to do their moves. And, oh, we're just collecting information on them. We're letting them commit the crime so we can see what they're doing. Well, their crimes are getting pretty big. A lot of people are suffering because of them. It's time. And I think people's patience is just about done, too. So if they're trying to avoid casualties and conflict, then, again, it's time. So that's all I can really bitch about right now. I know I'm going to get too heated if I keep going. This is probably long enough for you to sit and listen to anyway. But if you're interested in what I have to say in the future, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, tell your friends about me, share the video, get the word out. Wake up the sleeping sheep. It's time for reality to kick in. It's time for them to understand the New World Order is not a conspiracy theory. It is fact. We've been saying it for years. So get off the trip and get in the fight. And with that being said, y'all stay in the fight.